Kraken build to show you, and I cannot use the outside light as I normally do. Built this watch, and somebody instantly got it, and he is local to me, so he's stopping by to grab it. I was like, wait a second, I do not have a video for it. So, just to go over it a little bit. We can catch it in the light a little bit there. Let me turn on this backlight back here and see if it helps any. Kinda. So we've got a bronzed Kraken build. The background of it is blue and a little bit of brown there. That is put in a brushed case. And then we've got a brass bezel that was plated in silver. It's been stripped with hydrochloric acid, and then that brought up a lot of pink, so I had to do a citrus acid mix and polish it, and then I used some ager on it to turn it nice and dark brown. But you can see the edges of it. You've got that nice kind of brassy pink there around the edges. Anchor engraved crown. I don't know why it doesn't want to focus on that. Anchor engraved crown there. Silver handset to go with the case on this. Smaller window, low profile exhibition case back. Black rotor, stainless steel movement holder in there. And then this is on one of my super soft leathers. That's Kraken engraved there. Also has a brushed buckle here at the end of it. So that is the build as a whole. As always, my builds are held on with a tension ring, so they'll go left, they'll go right, they do not click. And this is an automatic mechanical, which means you can wind it, you can wear it, you can put it in a watch winder to keep time. But if it's dead or you're not going to be very active, you want to pre-wind it. You can't just set the time, throw it on your wrist, and hope that it keeps time, because you're not going to be active enough to keep it going. So what you'll want to do is back the crown off the threads until you hear it clicking. At that point, you can wind, which a wind is a turn away from you. And instead of winding it like this, you can wind it back and forth. Doesn't hurt it going backwards. But if you do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, before you set your time, you will keep time through your day. If you do it for something closer to 15-20 seconds, you will max out your 31 plus hour power reserve, which is what I do whenever I set them for the night. Make sure they're running fine the next day. I did this one like yesterday, 3 or 4 o'clock, and took pictures of it. So it's ran fine, just fine, and that's what, 24th, pushing that 30 hours. But it's 31 hours plus, so you'll just wind and wind and wind. You can't overwind it. If you pull it out to the one and only click, you can now set your time, and it's not a hacking movement, so it's going to keep going. And you're going to notice you got a wobble crown. That deflects the lateral pressure from going into the stem into the movement. So what I do to help with that is I just kind of hold it back too as I'm setting it. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 8:55 p.m.
And that also helps push it right back over and thread back down. So that is the build. I do have this over here. Since it is night-er time, let's see what see how the loom looks on it. So we loom around the pips. And obviously the hands are loomed. So there it is at night. Go back to having some lights on in here. Normally we do this in the daytime, because I'm right here in the corner with the natural light coming in. So there is the build, man. Congrats again on the watch. As always, every build I do comes with watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts, so everything here in the middle. Matching beads to go with the watch. This one's going to have a brown Kraken box, special edition box. It's going to have some leather conditioner. This is good on the strap to keep it perfectly soft. If it ever is not getting as soft, apply it to the front and back. Let it soak in. Remove any excess, but just use what you need. This should last as long as your strap. Just apply it as you need it, maybe every 6 months, if that. And then lastly, some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, repackaged. This is an acrylic glass. You can scratch it. If you do, put a tiny bit on it, buff against it, filling that scratch using your included microfiber. And generate some heat with your thumb, and you should knock it out in about 15 seconds. Only use what you need because you're only filling that scratch. The rest of it has to go somewhere, so it's going to go in the rag. You don't want to push it in under the bezel and have to blow it out. So just put it on there, buff against it, and just use a little bit. This should last you your watch. There's a lot in there, and you don't need but a tiny bit. So that's the build. Hope you guys like it. Don't know what I'd call it other than just a bronzed Kraken with a... That is actually a vintage. That's an old bezel. The ones that look like that these days that are silver are silver. They're solid steel. The old ones, though, they're plated on top and they're brass on the inside. So but getting to that brass isn't as easy as you'd think. So, but it looks good once you get there. So that's the build. Hope you guys like it. If you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I will see what I can do for you. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.